So I guess we have another quick update here, and this is disappointing and it's weird. Collateral damage of this lawsuit against Tropic Haze LLC, also known as YUZU, I guess. But as I stated in that video with Bunny's response or statement that was put out there, that their involvement in CITRA was going to cease. But in my eyes, I guess I wasn't reading into it close enough with the legal documents saying how anything they've done or participated in hereafter, before, current, like whatever, needs to be over with type of thing. And I just thought, oh, okay, well, Bunny, Yuzu, as being a big contributor to CITRA, was just going to remove themselves from it and it was going to live on as an open source thing. But because of that involvement, it seems like CITRA is now gone. In that video, I was on the GitHub page while I was waiting for that video to render and then upload and process all that kind of stuff. I was cruising through the freaking GitHub page and I was on the CITRA website and everything seemed fine. And then it's like shortly after that video was done, this GitHub page disappeared. The source code is now gone. The CITRA website, let me refresh it, but the CITRA website was still up. But don't like get it twisted. This download here button is just for an installer that pulls the source code and like compiles everything. So it doesn't work. It's no longer available. Now, I know my conversations in the past, like I'm fine with emulation. I'm not against emulation at all. I was definitely like iffy on like using YUZU because Switch is in its current, it's currently in its life cycle. So it wasn't something of great interest to me, but to see the progress of it was interesting. I wasn't against the YUZU emulator. It's just kind of like the things that they were doing and making themselves an easy target was, I really think, the downfall. Like having an LLC, taking in money, the things they were doing on Discord and all that, it made them an easier, target for Nintendo. But now with this being gone, it's like, what the heck? Nintendo, you're not making money off of the 3DS. My hope is that maybe this was the source code and everything was removed to have the rest of the team behind CITRA that's not involved in YUZU. Like, I don't know all the individuals. I just know Bunny is involved in both. But my hope would be is that they're just restructuring things and this will come back out. I mean, it was an open source emulator, but I don't know. As of the moment, it is gone. It sucks, man. The 3DS, there's so many freaking awesome games to play on there. But once a company like shuts off their eShop, you can no longer buy their games like where they profit from it, right? Like you can go to a secondhand shop, you can go meet somebody on Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp or something and buy a 3DS game. Nintendo gets nothing out of that. Nintendo shut all this stuff down, and now this emulator that people like I was getting at, the my thoughts on emulation and stuff like that. For me, it's about access. For some people, it's about access. I think for a lot of people, it's just, hey, I want to play these damn games, and they're not accessible anymore. Some take it to this other, like historical preservation thing, and I don't know. I'm a little mixed on some of that. Not necessarily with emulation, but in regards to plenty of other things that go on out there. It's just it's a weird community overall. Everybody's got different thoughts on how things should work, but I think if you're not like losing out anything, why should CITRA be a part of this? Like, you're not making money, Nintendo. The hell's wrong with you? You didn't magically put out a Nintendo 4DS that we could play 3DS games on. You didn't reopen the eShop. You didn't put these games on the Switch. There is no legal avenue that they benefit from you like getting these games. So it's just all really disappointing to see. Like I said earlier, hopefully CITRA comes back, and maybe in the long run with this whole aftermath, that's just, man, domino effect, like right away. Hopefully there's lessons to be learned, not for Nintendo. Nintendo's just, they're Nintendo, but for the community of people who work on things like this, how to maybe better approach things or to put things out there. I don't know. Like, it just sucks because I do think with the way Yuzu presented themselves, it's kind of their own fault in certain regards. Not that the emulator exists, but just the approach. And then to have the aftermath of things like this occur, hopefully it comes back. Hopefully it does. But yeah, I mean, this is a weird story of like, let's take in money, early access privileges, things like that. And having a business located in the US where you can easily be targeted by a big company like Nintendo. People got to look at this. This is a historical lesson on how to do these things, man. Like, I know there's other emulators for the 3DS. I know there's other emulators for the Nintendo Switch. There's drama involved in all of them. I don't care about any of that stuff. It's just, I don't want to see the domino effect just become a huge, like, where it just hits a bomb at the end and everything just blows up because everybody's scared or they don't want to continue doing these things. It's just, you got to approach it a certain way, I suppose. Not be so, I mean, you got to be public, you got to put your things out there, but not the way Yuzu went about it, I guess. But it's disappointing to see. Nintendo's just, they're gonna Nintendo. They've been a very litigious company since the beginning of them being involved in video games. You know what I mean? They have a shady background themselves of supporting the Yakuza and gambling and whatnot. But when it comes to emulation, hell no. Hell no. Like, I find it nuts, man. Like, once a system, okay, the Switch is one thing, but once a system's out of its life cycle, and you're no longer supporting it, you no longer allow the purchase of the games through an eShop or anything of the such. You shut down online. Get out of here, man. Like, we you know, people who want to put this stuff out there want to work on the preservation for people who are selfish, who want to hold on the ROMs for historical reasons or just want to play the games. I don't freaking care what the reason is. I just don't. But it's, man, to be a part of this whole lawsuit and blowing up because of that. Like I said, I really hope this comes back, but you just never know. You never know with these things. Nintendo going after everybody, man. They went after Blockbuster back in the day. You know, they were against rentals. And then they went after Blockbuster because Blockbuster was like if you rented an NES game and it came with the manual, right? And you kept the manual. A lot of people would keep these manuals for whatever, you know, I guess, or they would lose them. And like, so Blockbuster would photocopy the manuals. Nintendo went after them for photocopying the manuals, dude. Like, that's just, there's so much that Nintendo has gone after, you know, the things with Atari, man. Like, there's got to be a whole history. I don't know. Is there a legal history book of all of Nintendo's legal proceedings, either Nintendo versus somebody or somebody versus Nintendo? There's got to be something out there that documents everything. Earlier I looked up, like, is there anywhere that just has every legal proceeding in place? And I just find people discussing things. I don't see like a nice list of all the thing. I may have to do that myself. I don't know, but this is crazy, dude. But there you go. There's the update. Bye.